Hello and welcome to News Flash. I am Grace Komalafe. Today we will be sharing more stories around technology, but let's begin with labor unions. Nigeria's top labor unions, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC), have jointly resolved to initiate a nationwide strike commencing on October 3rd, 2023, as a result of what the labor unions consider as the government's inability to effectively implement policies aimed at easing the hardships faced by Nigerians following the removal of subsidy on premium motor spirits (PMS). During a virtual National Executive Council NEC meeting, Joe Ajero, the NLC national president, informed NEC members about a meeting held with officials from the TUC to deliberate on the way forward. It was unanimously agreed upon that both labor organizations should collaborate to convey their stance to the government. Although some initial objections were raised by NLC members regarding cooperation with the TUC, it was ultimately deemed necessary due to the government's perceived lack of proactive measures. Consequently, the impending strike action is regarded as a resolute response to the situation. The union's demands include wage awards, the implementation of palliatives, tax exemptions and allowances for public sector workers, and a review of the minimum wage. Moving on now to the tech story, a leading global technology brand, Techno, has revealed its exclusive smartphone sponsorship of the Total Energy Africa Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire 2023 in partnership with the Confederation of African Football, CAF. The formalization of this partnership took place at a memorable event held in Singapore, attended by distinguished guests such as Techno's general manager, Jack Guo, and CAF's General Secretary, Veron Musengo Omba. Jack Guo expressed his enthusiasm, stating that the smartphone manufacturer's partnership with CAF marks a significant milestone for the brand. The Africa Cup of Nations is stated to commence on the 13th January 2024, and Abidjan, the Côte d'Ivoire capital, are to play host to the most eagerly anticipated sporting spectacle in Africa. And again, to another tech story, a popular search engine known as Google says it will be shutting down its podcast app in 2024 as part of its strategy to shift its streaming listeners to YouTube Music. Earlier this year, Google unveiled its plan for YouTube Music to support podcasts in the US and later globally, aiming to enhance the podcast experience. This enhancement focuses on features related to discovery, community, and smooth transition between audio podcasts and videos. Google has facilitated the transition to YouTube Music from users by providing tools for transferring content and integrating podcast RSS feeds into their libraries. This shift is in harmony with users' preferences, as indicated by Edison Research, where a larger proportion of weekly podcast users in the US got 23% preferred YouTube as their primary podcast service compared to Google Podcast of 4%. Still on Google, in a collaborative effort, Google partnered with India's National Disaster Management Authority (NDA) and the National Seismology Center (NSC) to launch an earthquake alert system for Android devices in the country. Using smartphone sensors like accelerometers, the app transfers devices into seismometers, detecting tremors and sending timely alerts in local Indian languages to potentially affected areas. Google extends its disaster preparedness initiatives in India with AI-powered flood alerts covering all regions of the nation. Beginning as a pilot project in Patna, Bihar's capital, in 2018, it has now expanded to cover the entire country since 2020. This demonstrates Google's commitment to leveraging advanced technology to enhancing safety measures and provide critical information to communities vulnerable to natural disaster. And lastly, we end with the entertainment industry. Film and television writers, members of Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, are set to return to work this Wednesday, marking the end of their nearly 3-month-long strike that began in July. The Writers Guild of America, WGA, East and West successfully reached an agreement with the film and television industry after extensive negotiation. The strike aimed to secure better wages, improved working conditions, enhanced health and pension benefits, and establish guidelines for the use of artificial intelligence, AI, in future productions. The WGA's victory includes game-changing provisions in their new contracts that have the potential to reshape the entertainment industry. Notably, the contract introduces rules preventing companies from utilizing AI to write or rewrite scripts, and AI-generated content cannot serve as source material for shows or movies. The union also gained the ability to challenge companies if they exploit writers' work to train AI models. Also, foreign residuals will be paid to writers for streaming shows, aligning with the global reach of streaming platforms. Additionally, companies will now be required to be more transparent about streaming viewership data, providing valuable insight for both writers and the union. Throughout the strike, writers emphasized the challenges of sustaining a livelihood in their profession and criticized industry practices that limited opportunities for the writers. This transformative contract represents a significant milestone for the industry, with potential ripple effects extending beyond Hollywood. And that's a wrap on News Flash. I am Grace Komolafe. Thank you for staying with us. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at Sook News. Until next time on News Flash.